Hi everyone, today we're going to be reading a book called The Matzah Man. So yesterday you saw the video of Moratova reading The Gingerbread Man. This video is part of that lesson, it's part 2. So if you didn't see that video yet, go to check it out, go take a look at it, because that will help you complete the lesson today. For our lesson today, you're going to need this paper. It's called a Venn diagram. It looks like this. On top it says the Gingerbread Man, it says the Matzah Man, and a pencil. This paper can be found in the packet that you received from school. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be reading the book. And while I'm reading this book, I want you to think about how the Matzah Man and the Gingerbread Man, those stories, how are they the same and how are they different? Because we're going to be discussing that after. So I want you to think about that, and I hope you enjoy the story. The Matzah Man, A Passover Story by Nomi Howland. Inside Mr. Cohen's bakery, the racks were filled with Passover matzah. The baker rolled out his last scraps of dough. He added a bit here and a pinch there, and shaped a little man. He pricked the dough all over, popped it into the oven, and closed the door. Mr. Cohen was busy cleaning up when suddenly he smelled the matzah, almost burning. He hurried to the oven and opened the door, but the minute he did, the piece of matzah jumped out and said, "Ha, from the oven I jumped and ran, so clever and quick, I'm the Matzah Man." And off the little rascal ran around the sacks of flour, between the legs of the baker, and right out the door. "Stop, Matzah Man!" cried Mr. Cohen, and he began to chase the little Matzah Man. So think about who the characters are in this story. How are they different than in the Gingerbread Man? How are they the same? Through the village they raced. A red hen spied a little Matzah Man, crisped and crackly, running by. The Matzah Man said, "Ha, from the oven I jumped and ran, so clever and quick, I'm the Matzah Man." "Stop, Matzah Man!" clucked the red hen. "You would make a tasty treat for my new chicks." The little Matzah Man looked at the red hen, stuck his nose in the ear, and said, "I've run from the baker whose matzah is best, and canoodle, canoodle, canoe, I'll run away from you too." And he went pell-mell over the fence. So who's the Matzah Man running away from now? First, he ran away from the baker, and now, who's he running away from? He's running away from the red hen. Let's see what's going to happen next. Cousin Tilly was sampling her tender Passover brisket. Brisket is a type of meat. When the toasty little Matzah Man rushed past her door, the Matzah Man teased her, saying, "Hop from the oven I jumped and ran, so clever and quick, I'm the Matzah Man." "Stop, Matzah Man!" called Cousin Tilly. "You'd be the perfect mouthful with my delicious brisket, my delicious meat." Well, who do you think he's going to run away from now? He's running away from Cousin Tilly. The little Matzah Man made a rude face at Auntie Bertha and boasted, "I've run from the baker whose matzah is best, and from the red hen who left eggs in her nest, from old Cousin Tilly with brisket-filled pan and canoodle, canoodle, canoe, I've run away from you too." And he scooted around the corner. So who's he running away from now? He's running away from Auntie Bertha. And he runs away. Let's see where he's going to go next. Grandpapa Sally was chopping onions for his special Passover fish. The onions were making him cry, but he could still see the Matzah Man through his tears. The Matzah Man said, "Hop from the oven I jumped and ran, so clever and quick, I'm the Matzah Man." "Stop, Matzah Man!" cried Grandpa Sally. You'd be a delectable nosh with this fish. So who's he running away from now? He's running away from Grandpapa Sally. Let's see what's happening here. We can see in this picture how many people are running after him, or chasing the Matzah Man. So many. Let's take a look at that. The little Matzah Man put his hands on his hips and brags, I run from the baker whose matzah is best, and from the red hen who left eggs in her nest. From old cousin Tilly with brisket-filled pan, and big Auntie Bertha in high heels she ran, and canoodle, canoodle, canoe, I'll run away from you too. And he sped across the bridge. Miss Axelrod was dropping the last matzo ball in her chicken soup. When the brown little Matzah Man ran past, he shouted, hot from the oven I jumped and ran, so clever and quick I'm the Matzah Man. The little Matzah Man was so rude, he said, I've run from the baker whose matzah is best, and from the red hen who left eggs in her nest, and from old cousin Tilly with a brisket-filled pan, and big Auntie Bertha who in high heels she ran, and Grandpapa Sally from onions he's crying, and canoodle, canoodle, canoe, I'll run away from you too. And zippity-zip, away he went. So who's he running away from now? Miss Axelrod. This lady right here with her soup. Let's see what's going to happen. Do you think they're going to get him? Do you think they're going to be able to catch him? Think about how it's the same as the gingerbread man and how it's different. What are they both doing? Are the people that they're running away from the same or different? A gray goat was pulling tender young radishes out of the garden when he noticed the tasty little Matzah Man. The Matzah Man stamped his foot and said proudly, hop from the oven I jumped and ran, so clever and quick, I'm the Matzah Man. Stop, Matzah Man, bleated the goat. I would like to have a bite of you. The little Matzah Man laughed and said, I've run from the baker whose matzah is best, and from the red hen who left eggs in her nest. From old cousin Tilly with brisket-filled pan, and big Auntie Bertha in high heels she ran. Then Grandpapa Sally from onions he's crying, and then from Miss Axelrod matzah balls flying. And canoodle, canoodle, canoe, I'll run away from you too. And he hurried past the goat. So now, who's he running away from? The goat also. Just at that moment, young Mendel Fox came to the door of his house. What a commotion! Commotion is like a lot of things happening, like very noisy and busy. And what does he see? What do you think the commotion is? He sees all these people running after. Who are they running after? The Matzah Man. Mendel saw the little Matzah Man running down the road, chased by the gray goat, Miss Axelrod, Grandpapa Sally, Auntie Bertha, Cousin Tilly, the red hen, and Mr. Cohen, the baker. The Matzah Man looked back over his shoulder and panted, "Ha! From the oven I jumped and ran, so clever and quick I'm the Matzah Man." "Stop, Matzah Man," Mendel said. "I'll help you. Hide behind me." The Matzah Man flattened himself behind Mendel. So now is he running away from this boy, or is this boy helping him? Let's find out. "They're getting closer," Mendel shouted. "Hurry, get behind the cushion." The Matzah Man covered himself with the pillow. "I can still see you," cried Mendel. "They're coming up to the steps. Quick, hide here." The Matzah Man jumped up on the table and slipped beneath the matzah cover. So Mendel was helping him hide from all the people that he's running away from. And he hides in a very interesting spot. He hides on the seder. Over here you can see their table is all set ready for the seder. And he hides under the cover for the matzah. So let's see what's going to happen if they're going to find him. Mr. Cohen looked around. "Did you see a little piece of matzah run this way?" he asked. Mendel shrugged. Miss Axelrod peeked under the table. The red hen picked up the cushion on Grandpapa Sally's chair. No one could find the Matzah Man, so one by one the tired guests plopped down in their seats. So what do you think is going to happen? They're all sitting at the meal. They couldn't find him, so they just decided to eat. What do you think is going to happen next? "Let's begin the seder," said Mendel. He handed his grandfather the plate of matzah. Grandpapa Sally reached under the matzah cover. Snap! The matzah was broken. The plate was passed around the table. Tasty matzah, said the great goat between bites. Now the horseradish was making Grandpapa Sally cry. He nibbled a piece of matzah so crunchy and delicious, he said through his tears. The best matzah we ever ate, agreed Cousin Tilly, Auntie Bertha, and Miss Axelrod. The red hen pecked at her matzah. Crick, 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 crispy, Mr. Cone smiled. Everybody ate a piece of matzah except Mendel Fox. He had 2 pieces. And that was the end of the Matzah Man. So how did the story end? What did they do with the Matzah Man? They ended up, what did they end up doing with him? They ended up eating him. Okay, so now let's move on to the next part of our lesson. So we're going to, you're going to take out your paper that I showed you before with the Venn diagram. And what this is that it's 2 circles. One circle means that it's a circle for the gingerbread man, and one circle is for the matzah man. And if you see, the 2 circles overlap, and this middle part is for both circles. So what we're going to do is we're going to think about what is the same about the 2 stories and what's different. Things that are the same, you can either write or draw a picture. If you're able to write, it is better, but if you can't write, you can draw. What's the same about the 2 stories here? So, and that's going to go in the middle part of this paper, and what's different is going to go on each side. So let's think about first what's the same. What's the same about these 2 stories? Who are they both about? So they're both about a type of man. One of them is called a matzah man. One is called a gingerbread man. So we can write that they're both about a man. And it's not a real man, but they both are about a man. Now the gingerbread man, now let's think about what's different. The gingerbread man, what's he made out of? He's made out of gingerbread, which is a type of dough for a cookie. So we can write that he's made out of gingerbread. So we have that written here. And who is the matzah man made out of? Matzah. So he's made of matzah. We can write that here. So this is just an example to show you what to do. So you're going to think about what's the same, and you can think about what's different. Now, what else is the same? What are both the matzah man and the gingerbread man doing throughout the story? They are both doing what? They're both running away from people. So in the middle, we can write in the middle, because both of them are doing that. They run away from people. So they run away from people. If you need help sounding out the words, you can ask someone to help you, or you can just draw a picture, whatever works best for you. They run away from people. And now, who are the people that they're running away from? So think about that, and that's something you can do at home. And think about if they're different people. We'll do one together, and then the rest you can do at home and by yourself. So the gingerbread man is running away from an old lady. So we're going to write old lady. But the matzah man is running away from, starts out running away from the baker. So we're going to write the baker. Now, you can continue doing this at home and continue filling it out, and you can look at both videos if you need to re-listen to the stories to figure out what's the same and what's different about the stories. And when you're done filling it out, you don't have to fill out all the lines. You can fill out 1 or 2 more things and take a picture and send it to Laura. We'd love to see your work. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for listening today, and I'll see you again soon.